YouTube. Uh, hey there, YouTube. I'm gonna try to show you how to nap some glass here. My name is Mike Parker, and I want to show you guys how I do this stuff here. First of all, this is the bottom, what's left anyway. I'm trying to get a blank. I'm making a blank out of this basically. This is a, a half a gallon Jägermeister bottle. I've got several other bottoms here. These are out of the smaller bottles, the smaller. But anyway, this one's, when you knock these edges off, let me show you first of all how I break these edges off, and try to do this without cutting yourself. Uh, for this part, I generally don't wear gloves, but I'm going to show you something like with these edges here, how to knock these square edges off here, and I'm going to try to make you, what we're looking for is we're trying to get a square blank out of this. And see what we can do here. And what you want to do is these, if you look at this edge right here, this is what you want, this edge here at this angle here. So when you strike these, when you strike this from this angle, the flakes will shoot back, you know, halfway back up under the glass. But you don't want to hit this that direction. You don't want to hit this direction until you get rid of this lip all the way around here, because it's bell shaped. It's still pretty round. You know, you want to wait till you get to the center there, till there's an imaginary center line, and I think the line needs to move up, because right there is where my finger is. There is just about the middle of the piece, and that's when I want to get down and start shooting flakes back across the top up here. I don't want to, but when I do this, I always keep the rounded side, you know, the rounded side of the you want to keep this part on top. Sorry, I'm not a very good teacher, but I'm going to do my best here to show you. Anyway, I turn this, and I want to put this edge this way at this kind of an angle, because I'm going to hit this really. I've got a really small billet here. You can see it's just a little piece of a deer antler, because I don't want anything too big, because I don't want too big of flakes to come off of here all at once, and I don't want to take a chance on breaking this. So I figure the lighter the billet, the less chance of this. But anyway, I'm going to hit these, and now when I hit this, the flakes are going to come off straight back, pretty much that way, at an angle like this. If you're looking at pieces, the pieces are going to come off and shoot pieces back that way. The more you tilt the glass, the steeper the angle and the farther back the flakes go into the material. So, you know, how you hold the material, at what angle you hold it at, determines. So anyway, I'm going to hit this here and try to do this without breaking this. And see, that's what's coming off there, these little pieces here. And it's taking a corner off back to in here in the corner in here, which is what you want. That's that edge you want to set up. You're setting up your platform, and I'm going to do this all the way around the glass. I got a little trash can. I'm going to keep dumping this stuff off. You don't want to have your face down here, real close down here, you know, down here like this, doing this stuff, because you don't want to be breathing this shattered glass. And I'll just keep going around this way. And see, that piece there was dangerous, because I almost hit that wrong, and it almost snapped the piece in half. But, you'll learn to listen to the glass, because when it starts to ring, you don't want to hear it ring. You want to hear thud. And we'll see how quick we can get this down here. I'll just keep my mouth shut and just start watching, and watch the angle I'm doing this at. Well, kind of hard to keep this at one angle. Let's see if I can get this set up so you guys can see how to do this. And I'm holding this like this. Okay, first of all, I've got a rubber pad, you know, solid hard rubber pad It's a piece of old piece of coal mining belt. That's you know, real solid rubber, thick rubber with backing on it. And they have these conveyor belts that they use this stuff on. And then I got a piece of black leather on top of that, and I usually keep it out here towards the edge of my chair. And a piece of white leather, and I've got other pieces down here, other assorted pieces, but I like the white on the green because it's easier to see the glass for me. And let's see, start back over here where I was. And sometimes you got to change the angle a little bit to get it to break right. I didn't like the sound of that, but anyway, you learn to listen to the glass while you're working with it, so that it's just like working with any tool. You'll get to know the material. You know, after you've done it for a little while, you'll listen to it and you'll tell. You see, that's that kind of a thud sound I want to hear right there. Is that that's what I really want to hear. That knock, 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 knock. I don't want to hear that high pitched tink, tink. That tells me that you know, it's really, these little thumps are good. You know, thump, thump, tick, tick, tick is okay. It's the high pitched ting, ting, ting. You don't want to hear, you hear ting. It's a bell, which means the shock wave is traveling through the whole piece. And sometimes I do supported stuff, and supported is when it's down on the leather, you know, where I'm pushing down on it. And then sometimes you have to hold it up off of there to get a piece to come off. I'm going the wrong way. Turn the camera this way. But sometimes you've got to, you know, hold it up this way, just like you're doing a piece of rock. But I like to hold it in the middle up here at the bell, so that the shock wave doesn't travel up into this part of it, so it doesn't snap the piece in half if you hit it in the middle like that and you don't quite hit it right like that. But listening to the material is anyway, you see how this is going all the way around here like this. It's knocking that edge back all the way around. And I want to keep going the same direction until I get this lip off and the glass starts to flatten out, you know what I mean? So it just takes a little time and some practice to know exactly how to hold the glass. You know, I mean, I can't tell you how many. I went through probably 60 or 70 Jaeger bottles, and before I really started to learn some stuff. It takes time and tonnage. I've been doing this for, I don't know, about ow. And that's why you should wear gloves. Poked a little hole in my finger right there. But I'm not going to bleed to death, I don't think, from that little hole there. It's not going to hurt me. But anyway, yeah, I've been doing this a while, and I don't wear gloves. I should, but I don't like to wear gloves because I can't feel the rock in my hands that way. But anyway, this is how you start your blank. Yeah, that's good. Now I'm just slinging it out of my hand there. But anyway, grab the Band-Aid here. And there's Band-Aid right there. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to step off camera, but I had to grab me a little band-aid here just because I'm slinging blood from swinging this little bitty, just moving my hand. The centrifugal force is slinging the blood out of my little finger there. I'm not going to bleed to death. I'll be just fine. They're all cleaned up. But anyway, I want to get this down as close as we can get this to yep, I just about broke that there. A big chunk come out of the side right there. I didn't like that. I'm still safe, but gotta be real careful with this stuff sometimes because it doesn't glass is unpredictable. Just like all of it, none of this stuff is predictable. You know, it's semi-predictable if you hit it right, and there's a good chance you're going to get a good piece out of it. But it's not 100. Any napper will tell you just one little miss hit is all it takes. Just one. You know, I try to be as accurate as I can. And you want to do this with glancing blows. You know, you don't want to be, you don't want to be hitting it directly. You're hitting glancing blows into it. And get this last little part of the slip off here. I think we'll just call it a blank and go from there. Because it's, I'll just quit after I get this ledge here off. But it's how you're holding this angle. Like I said, the angle that you're holding the glass at is what really matters. Is when you're hitting it like this, or any way you're hitting it. You know, when you're doing this stuff. Yeah, you can still see that edge there, but I want to hold the edge of the glass. I'm holding the glass up there, if you can see, because you can see the glare on it from the light up there. And I'm just tapping that edge and knocking little pieces out of there. And if you're just learning this stuff, take your time. Don't try to learn too fast, too much at once. I learn something almost every time I pick this stuff up. I learn a little something up here. My mind tells me, hey, that's how I should hold that, or I shouldn't have done this, or I shouldn't have done that. And especially when I break one, I learn that, hey, next time don't do that. The glass is free, which is why I like this stuff, and it teaches me how to nap. So when I go to buy good flint or obsidian on eBay, or not flint but chert. There's good places to buy chert, but it's a little expensive. If you live anywhere where there's railroad tracks, most of them across the United States have limestone on the railroad tracks. Like near bridges, overpasses, stuff like that on the railroad. And just a lot of road crossings and stuff like that. They use that limestone, and limestone has chert in it. Big pieces of gray stuff. This colored stuff here, this kind of gray chert. This is the kind of stuff I get off the railroad tracks, and this makes beautiful arrowheads out of some of this stuff. Stuff like that. It's got stripes in it. It's pretty, good looking chert. And this is the kind of stuff I nap with. And other stuff that I get, stuff like this you get from like Texas, and different places. Oklahoma, you can get chert from all over the United States. It's all different colors, or obsidian. But I would rather learn on this stuff first and then nap this, you know, the more expensive stuff. And some of the stuff I nap here, I'll show you some of my stuff. I like bird points, and I also like, just to show you guys that I've been doing this for a little while. I'll show you what I can do with this stuff. These are all my I don't like getting on these channels and giving advice. You don't think I know what I'm talking about. I don't, you know, I want anybody to think I'm not who I say I am. If that makes any sense. Let's show some of my arrowheads here. These are some of the bigger ones here. Some of them. That one's not done yet, but all these others would work. This is stuff I nap here. And most of this stuff is chert off the railroad tracks. The gray stuff is all railroad chert. This is just from walking up and down the railroad tracks. That's from a piece of Texas chert. That's a piece of some other stuff I bought. And these other ones, these are more or less what I would call arrowheads, hunting arrowheads for like deer or big game or even something like that for, you know, bear or whatever. Maybe an elk or something, caribou, you know, some bigger North American deer family, you know, good looking arrowheads and you know, plenty thin. They're not perfectly straight, but they will work, you know, they'd work on an arrow. They definitely, you don't want to be pulling that out of your rear end, no matter who you are. And there's a real nice little point right there. I like that one. But I've also, like I said, mentioned my bird points. Sorry, let me set these down here. I don't drop them all. Yeah. Sorry, the video's a little lengthy, but this is my Altoids tin, my little survival kit. Because there's not just arrowheads in here. I got roll of sinew, probably enough to do, I don't know, enough there to do half a dozen arrows. Real sinew, real white-tailed deer sinew. There's a pickle jar arrowhead. And these are some, I got a couple of bone points in here. There's a deer antler point. That one's paper thin and like a razor blade. Very, very sharp. And I've got two serrated edge ones that are deer bone. Really thin and you know, very serrated, deadly sharp, do a lot of damage. There's one not out of an agate, piece of polished agate that I bought some agate, and there's another one, agate one. Some other really nice ones here. I'll have to just back up and show you all of them here if I can. But anyway, this is what I do, and I just want to show you guys that what I'm, if I'm giving you any advice on, on flint knapping, I have done some flint knapping. I'm not just talking out of my, I'm not talking out of my rear end. And you know, I'm not a master flint knapper, but you know, I've done a little bit. I'm not a novice, put it that way. I'm not a master by any means, but I am not a novice either. So uh, anyway, those are most of my bird points there. What other people would call bird points, and I don't, but they're just all hunting points if you ask me. Anyway, well, guys, thanks for watching, and anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and if there's anything I can do to help, just ask. I do it all. I make bows. Uh, if you have any questions, ask me. I make bows. I sell them. But